All right, guys, we're going to talk about The Good Place, Season 1, Episode 2.
So we're moving along.
We're getting somewhere. So
the plot's taking shape. It's basically what we thought it was.
It seems like it will just be a series of her causing problems based on her natural personality defects that will lead to her having to fix them and whatever. We do see it. We gained a little ground where she naturally did try to solve a problem, somewhat.
In the words of what's his name, well, making up for a bad thing is not the same as doing a good thing, but it's a start.
But then immediately the little robot thing popped up like, okay, I got the stinkiest garbage. Do you still want me to put it in their bed or whatever?
She's like, what? What?
Yeah. I did think the flashbacks to her alive, you know, just showing off how much of a dick she is, like some were funny, but I thought some were, I'm like, you're really beating this horse here a little bit.
Ah, interesting. Okay.
Like, did you get a vibe of that where, like, it's like, okay, I understand you have a trend of bad behavior patterns, and I think it's established after the second time. But they do it like 4 times, I
was okay with it, like 3 maybe. Like, I don't know. It didn't really bother me. Like, when I say the show's taking shape, I mean, like, the structure and all that stuff, right? Michael is weird, kind of oblivious, but things are going wrong and he needs to fix it, and he's concentrating on that. She is like still shitty, right? And you're seeing, I like that they're doing the flashbacks, like structurally, it's great because he'll say like, okay, tell me one thing good that you've done like this, and then cuts back to something or whatever, right? The whole like integrity and eating the things. I liked those things. No, I was fine with those things. I understand the beating the horse angle, but every time it like ratcheted up to the point where she was like, you know,
I don't know, like it did, like while it didn't offend me, I just thought that other parts of the show seem like their production value and everything is so high that struck me as a low point of the episode. So it was a little bit like weird there, where I think everything else, like all the actors that are on the screen, I'm like, okay, they're all like, you know, acting or overacting, but it fits what's happening. And in that scene, I was like, all right, this feels like a student film type of thing.
So
the student film was a little aggressive. It felt like a lower budget, you know.
No. They are shitty, and it will quickly get old if it is literally looks like it was all filmed in that same like day or whatever, right? But which it might. But
who's to say?
Yes, but we're continuing the whole designated driver and all that stuff like thing or whatever.
Yeah.
This flashy backy thingy and stuff like that. They have to make it look different, I guess, and that's part of why it looks shitty.
I don't think it has to look that, like, I understand it should
doesn't
look
have to
angel-esque and, like, you know, this perfect society, but it doesn't have to look, it doesn't have to look bad. It
doesn't have to look
fine.
that shitty. I would agree with that, yes.
Because I'm loving everything so far that's taking place in the other place. I think that's, or I guess the other place is where she might go, the good place, rather. I think all that has been really good. I love the sets. Like I'm still like really appreciating like her like little weird house and like how her bed is on a loft, but it has no access to it.
Her house is cool. She hates her house, but like
I think she only hates
it
by comparison, and we may feel the same way if we had like, you know, a beautiful house, but the neighbor had a castle.
Had a giant castle.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
But really, what do you need? It seems like everything you ever want is just snapped right to you.
You just ask the architect of the Matrix to do something.
Yeah. Can I get a Doctor Who pocket dimension thing here? Perfect.
Right?
I wonder. We'll see how far that gets pushed.
And you got a chalkboard. There's a whole through line here where he's gonna like teach her to be good.
Yeah.
But he was a professor, so he's like, we're gonna have assignments and quizzes.
Yeah. It's gonna be so fun.
Great. And she's like, what?
It does sound horrible. I do think you could snap into being good just to avoid that bullshit. Be like, all right, I'll start to think about others, or at least fake it until you fucking walk away.
Yeah, that's the point. But she had the, you know, supposedly a moment of something, right?
Yeah.
We can say that she was out cleaning or whatever. But she's rolling with it, so stuff's gonna get better or whatever, I suppose.
What the fork?
So disappointing thing, the whole CG run amok business, and like trash raining from the sky is much easier to do. So
yes.
We were like well within our means or whatever, but it seems like yes, the glitches in the Matrix are going to be continuing to be caused by her thoughts, I guess. I'm not sure what exactly is causing it.
I don't think it. Well, I think it's just literally doing anything outside the programming because it's programmed for the perfect people in this society, and since she is not, she is just throwing it off. Where it's like, oh no, someone's throwing trash, not in a receptacle, and the fucking program can't handle it. I love when Ted Danson kicks the dog into the sun.
Yes.
I thought that was just wonderful.
And it continued to get better, honestly.
Yes, and then he's like, oh, it's just a construct of a dog. It doesn't actually feel or love or love. It doesn't love me? Oh, no. Yours loves you. Well, I mean, I can kick this one into the sun and get you one that loves you even more.
When he says that, when he says, I will kick that right into the sun and get you one that loves you twice as much, or whatever, I was like, oh my God, like that's amazing.
I did not like him not knowing what sweat was, and that part. It felt like you were pandering to a lower audience than the rest of the show has established itself as. Like that feels like what the idiots laugh at type of thing.
What redeemed it for me was the line, that seems weirder.
Yeah. Wait, I lick it off the napkin?
Do I look
that
at
seems
and then I lick it off of this? That seems weirder. Okay. And then starts doing it. That's that line made it worth going in that direction for me. But overall, not like worth.
I do want to know more about what exactly he is. Like, is he an angel? Were angels never humans? Like, or has he just been an angel so long he forgets about things?
His name's Michael, and he talks about having a human body now, or like whatever.
Yes.
So I think we're supposed to extrapolate all that, but we don't actually know, and so much of it has like a technological bent to it, right?
Yes, because he can't be the Michael, because then he would have already been designing things, because Michael's like the fucking top dog of angels.
His name's on the tin.
Yeah, but with there being potentially 1 billion people in heaven, or whatever,
right.
There's probably more than one Michael.
And he says, like, straight up in the beginning, every religion was 5% right, or whatever.
Yeah.
Did we talk about that shit?
Yeah, except for that one guy.
Oh my God.
I have a picture of him in my office.
I actually laughed at that a lot.
No, that was great.
That was a moment. I don't think we...
That felt like a Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy line.
Did we mention that?
I don't think we did.
That's wonderful. And he literally, like, reenacts it. He goes, and then he got really stoned or high or mushrooms or whatever, and his friend turned to him and said, what do you think happens when we die? And he just launched into this whole monologue. Nailed it! And then cut, that like British joke of like cutting to the wide shot, the fucking picture that's been there the entire time, you're sitting there, right? That she's like, oh, okay, like that's wonderful.
Yes, no, the show has some great qualities, and I think that is the part that makes me notice the things that I feel are subpar.
Sure.
Because you have such high heights that your valleys become much more low.
Your valleys. Yeah. I don't know where I would rate it yet. I like to collect a little more data.
I can't say this show is a classic or anything yet. Yeah. But I can say that it's enjoyable, and it's certainly a short enough show, both in season and minutes per episode, that even if you had any interest, you could watch the whole thing in a day.
Yeah. No, and it's a breezy thing. Like I even like how the episode wraps up with the credits going or whatever.
Yes,
it's weird.
Yes. No,
that's something about that makes me.
I like that, and it made me think that this show cares more about getting the story actually told, because they were like, okay, no, we only have this much time, but we have to play the credits. Just play them over. We're gonna keep going. We need to finish the story.
And it's always them like having a conversation, going back and forth a little bit, something simple, right? So you're not like, wait, I can't see the thing, right? But it's like, so far I think they've done it twice, so it's going to be.
I believe they'll go to the end minute every time.
So
the show actually becomes like
22-minute show.
Well, it has an opening bit, so it's very close to 22 minutes though. I do like
closer to max time.
I do like that a lot. I think that
something about that
respectable to me.
Something about that felt good, which is really weird because I shouldn't have any feelings about that, but I really enjoyed that.
I always watch the credits anyway. Like I don't necessarily read the credits, but I always leave it running until like an episode ends, because I'm like, well, what if there's a bumper or something at the end? So like I like, if there's, unless I'm like have to rush out when something ends, I will watch credits on movies and TV shows like every time.
Wow.
But this one, so it ends. The very ending of this episode is a note sliding on the door that says like, you don't belong here.
I know you don't belong here.
And that's interesting.
Opens the door, no one's there.
Of course not.
Oh crap.
And the view is just picturesque at her door.
Yeah, it's like made of candy.
Yeah.
No, so we don't know who that could be. The only other people that we've really developed are the people, that other couple with the monk that can't. It's probably the monk.
My mind went to the monk. I'm like, well, of course you write a note. He can't talk.
Exactly.
But I feel like he will eventually say his words to her.
Yes, sure.
Like
sure.
they will be in contact.
We've had a running gag where his soulmate wants him to talk. Yes, she talks constantly.
Yes, she tried a moment of silence for one moment, and she liked it.
It was that. Something about that. I think it's those. There's a word for them in comedy, buttons or something, where she goes like, "Oh, that's so cleansing," or whatever. The so cleansing made that whole thing worth it for me. But otherwise, I was like, okay, I know what you're doing here.
No, in general, her thoughts and motivations seem very predictable. I do wonder if that is her traditional accent.
Okay, you think she might be doing a thing?
Because sometimes it feels a little
over the top.
A little bit, right?
Well, and like Kristen Bell calls her out. She's like, she's very pretentious. She talks down to everyone or something like that.
Yeah.
Oh, marvelous, or whatever. Does the whole like imitation of her and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So that's fun.
And she even pointed out, no one else has an accent. You're not even speaking my language. Why does she have an accent?
She's doing that intentionally, or whatever, which makes no sense, but it's great.
I don't know how she would do that if it's being translated like in your ear.
I'm actually speaking French. That's wonderful.
I think that is something that is very cool too. That's another like Hitchhiker's Guide thing. Like, oh no, you can speak anything, or like Doctor Who, the TARDIS translates for you. Like, I like that. We're like, no, everyone's speaking whatever they speak, and it just works.
Exactly. It all evens out.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Other little high point, Senegal, when she's like, I got you a present. Senegal.
Yeah.
He's like, that is basic human decency. Like what
he knew like everything about her. He paid attention so well.
That whole thing was wonderful. When he like breaks it down.
If I say Africa, is that racist? Yes.
Yes. No, yeah, but that whole back and forth, I really appreciated that. Where he and he's like, because you only care about yourself. he knew everything. She knew literally nothing, and she was like, oh yeah. And she even goes like, how do you know all that? And he goes, you are constantly talking about yourself. Like, do you not realize this? It's wonderful. Yeah.
No, they have a great chemistry, and he was he in something that I know, or do I just like him so much from seeing him in 2 episodes of this? I don't know, but he seems to have a quality that makes me think I know him already from something.
He's really shining for me. He feels like a little more is coming out of him or something.
I feel like he might be British.
Yeah, he's probably British because he
seems a notch above.
He's able to do something with his face and something with his voice, and he's kind of playing them together like the two hands of a piano, and together they make a song. Whereas other actors and actresses are just doing the same thing with their face and their thing. When he like raises his hand, he's like, "Her and I would love to help," or whatever, and he makes his face like, or whatever. I was like, "Oh, that's wonderful."
He like saw in his face like, "I'm gonna fuck this bitch."
Yeah, right. I have an idea. Yeah, fuck you. All that stuff. Like, it was really good. Oh, and like, okay, so like my other criticism. So they banned flying for 1,000 years.
Yes.
Right. Which ends up fitting fine, but
it breaks their own rules.
I felt like she should have like to properly make the sacrifice, they had to establish before. Because in my head, I'm like, why doesn't she just go flying tomorrow? What's the big deal? Like the whole time, right? So she would have had to have known that was her only chance the whole time to make it like a worthy trade-off or like whatever to me. And the fact that they banned it after the fact almost makes sense because someone got hit with a turkey because she like, so it's like her fault, but that's not as good.
The issue I have is that she's like, oh, the injury was too high, and then later on in the episode we find out people can't be injured because a dumpster crushes 2 people and they're totally fine.
Everyone's immortal.
So what exactly was the issue? If no one can be actually injured, why are we afraid of injuries?
That's the thing. The issue is
that's the lazy writing stuff that I don't like.
We have to resolve the fact that couldn't you just go flying tomorrow and just clean up today, and isn't this fine, right?
Yeah.
So there would have had to have been a thing. Have like a traveling flight instructor person who only visits every heaven.
She's
in like rotation.
Each heaven like one day like every 1,000 years. There's thousands of these civilizations.
Right. Well, and don't even like reveal that. Just have her be like, okay, fine, you win. We'll just fly when she comes back. So like, when is that? Like next week or something? And he goes like, oh, it's gonna be over 1,000 years. Yeah. We keep adding these constantly. Y'all keep dying or whatever. And like keep doing this like fun thing. See there, we fixed your show.
That would have been much better.
Just something, right?
Yeah, no, it's frustrating.
Okay. Otherwise, though, good.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing that breaks the show for me. Yeah. Just little things that and every show has those where I'm like, did you read your episode script here? Because like, wouldn't you think that this directly conflicts with that? Unless you're saying only those 2 idiots are immortal in heaven, like.
and by idiots,
the dumber you are, the safer you are.
And by idiots, we mean happy people.
But they're far too happy.
Yeah.
They seem like they have a mental illness.
Sure, yes, exactly. Some sort of mental deficiency causing intense happiness.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which we should all be so lucky to have. In the good place.
Does anything else happen of note in this
Wrapping
episode?
up the time, yeah.
I think that's everything.
No, we hit it. We backfilled everything. The guy with the Picasso face was funny.
That was interesting.
That was out of nowhere. Because
Yeah.
sometimes, I'm like looking around the show and I see what's possible and I expect everything. I did not think things were going that direction.
No,
And
that was like Mighty Boosh stuff.
Yes,
I was like,
that was
okay, interesting.
out of nowhere. And only shown that one time. And that
I
one moment
wanted
was
the
fine.
thing, like, so when you saw the girl's clothes, the first girl, the Bruce
Yeah.
Lee's clothes turned back to what it was normally, I wanted, like, everyone's clothes to turn back, but hers wouldn't because she put on a fucking stripy thing.
Yeah.
I wanted that to happen. I'd be
That'd
like,
be good.
these glitches, they just never end. And she's like, yeah. And she just runs to the bathroom, changes, and comes back out.
Oh, look, no, mine did all, yeah, but, afterwards.
While I was peeing. We don't pee
Yes.
in heaven. Yeah, I fake it sometimes because I'm nostalgic.
Sorry.
I don't know.
I'm like a retro
Yeah.
chick. Yeah.
All right, guys, so that's everything that happened in this episode. Let us know in the comments below what you thought about it. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.